presence of voltage on a gas pipe, as indicated by the 7 volts measured from the gas pipe to the grounded box, and the voltage differences between the hot wire to ground and the hot wire to the gas pipe suggests a potential electrical issue that requires careful investigation. Here are several possible causes and troubleshooting steps to address this situation. Firstly, consider faulty electrical wiring. Loose or damaged wiring can create an unintended path for current to flow through the gas pipe to ground. This is a common cause of stray voltage. Secondly, investigate a ground fault. A break or compromised connection in the electrical system's grounding path can cause current to seek alternative paths to ground, potentially using the gas pipe. Thirdly, look for induced voltage. Close proximity to high voltage equipment, such as transformers or power lines, can induce voltage on the gas pipe through electromagnetic coupling. This is more likely in areas with significant electrical infrastructure. Fourthly, consider electrolytic corrosion. To similar metals in contact with the gas pipe, especially in the presence of moisture, can create an electrolytic cell. This process can generate a voltage potential on the pipe, leading to corrosion. Fifthly, static discharge may be the cause. Accumulation of static electricity on the gas pipe can discharge through the grounding system, causing voltage spikes that may be noticeable. Here are several troubleshooting steps to address this potential hazard. Firstly, check the electrical wiring. Thoroughly inspect all wiring connected to the gas valve, exhaust system, and any related electrical components. Look for any signs of damage, loose connections, or insulation breaks. Pay close attention to the wiring within the actuator box and any junction boxes in the vicinity. Secondly, test the grounding system. Using a ground fault circuit interrupter, commonly known as a GFCI tester or a multimeter, verify the continuity and resistance of the grounding path from the actuator box to the main electrical panel. A high resistance reading indicates a problem with the grounding connection. This could be due to corrosion, loose connections, or a broken grounding conductor. Thirdly, check for induced voltage. Use a voltage tester, preferably a non-contact voltage tester, to measure the voltage between the gas pipe and nearby electrical equipment or power lines. Note any significant voltage readings, which may indicate induced voltage from nearby sources. Fourthly, inspect the gas pipe. Carefully check the gas pipe for any signs of corrosion, damage, or contact with dissimilar metals. Look for any areas where the pipe may be in contact with copper pipes, steel supports, or other metallic structures. Fifthly, check the building ground. Once access to the basement is available, verify the tightness and integrity of the main electrical panel ground connection and the grounding electrode system. Ensure that the grounding electrode conductor is properly connected to the grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or water pipe. Here are several recommended actions. Firstly, disconnect the power and isolate the gas valve. Turn off the power to the affected circuit at the circuit breaker and close the gas valve to eliminate any potential hazards. This will help to prevent electrical shock or gas leaks during troubleshooting. Secondly, contact a qualified electrician. Hire a licensed electrician to diagnose and repair the electrical issue. It is important to find a qualified professional who has experience in identifying and resolving grounding problems in commercial settings. Thirdly, inspect the gas system. Request a gas utility technician to inspect the gas piping for any damage or leaks. Gas leaks can be a serious hazard, and it is important to ensure that the gas system is safe and properly functioning. Re-establish grounding. Once the electrical issue is resolved, re-establish the grounding path for the gas valve and exhaust system to prevent voltage build-up. This may involve replacing damaged grounding conductors, tightening connections, or installing additional grounding electrodes. In addition to these steps, it is important to follow all applicable electrical codes and safety regulations. The National Electrical Code, also known as NEC, provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems. Adhering to these requirements will help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. To elaborate on checking the electrical wiring, begin by visually inspecting all accessible wiring associated with the fire suppression system, the exhaust fan, and the gas valve. Look for any obvious signs of damage such as frayed insulation, exposed conductors, or burnt connections. Pay particular attention to areas where the wiring may be subject to physical stress or vibration. Use a multimeter to check the continuity of the wiring. Disconnect the power to the circuit and then use the multimeter to verify that there are no breaks in the conductors. Also, check for short circuits between conductors or between conductors and ground. If any damaged or faulty wiring is found, replace it immediately with wiring of the correct size and type. Ensure that all connections are tight and properly insulated. When testing the grounding system, a ground fault circuit interrupter tester can be used to verify the effectiveness of the grounding path. The GFCI tester will simulate a ground fault and measure the time it takes for the circuit breaker to trip. A properly functioning grounding system should cause the circuit breaker to trip quickly, indicating that the ground fault current is being diverted safely to ground. A multimeter can also be used to measure the resistance of the grounding path. The resistance should be as low as possible, ideally less than 1 ohms. A high resistance reading indicates a problem with the grounding connection. This could be due to corrosion, loose connections, or a broken grounding conductor. If the resistance is high, inspect all grounding connections and tighten them as needed. Also, check the grounding electrode conductor and the grounding electrode to ensure that they are properly connected. To further elaborate on checking for induced voltage, use a non-contact voltage tester to detect the presence of voltage on the gas pipe without making direct contact. This can help to identify induced voltage from nearby electrical equipment or power lines. If induced voltage is detected, try to identify the source of the voltage. It may be possible to reduce the induced voltage by rerouting the wiring or by shielding the gas pipe. In some cases, it may be necessary to install a dedicated grounding conductor to the gas pipe to provide a path for the induced voltage to dissipate. When inspecting the gas pipe, carefully check for any signs of corrosion. Corrosion can weaken the pipe and make it more susceptible to leaks. Also, check for any contact between the gas pipe and dissimilar metals. Contact between dissimilar metals, such as copper and steel, can create an electrolytic cell that accelerates corrosion. If corrosion or contact with dissimilar metals is found, take steps to mitigate the problem. This may involve replacing the corroded pipe or installing a dielectric union to separate the dissimilar metals. When checking the building ground, the main electrical panel ground connection should be securely fastened to the grounding bus bar. The grounding electrode conductor should be properly sized and connected to the grounding electrode. The grounding electrode should be a ground rod, a metal water pipe, or another approved grounding electrode. The resistance of the grounding electrode system should be as low as possible, ideally less than 25 ohms. If the resistance is high, additional grounding electrodes may need to be installed. In addition to these troubleshooting steps, it is important to consider the overall electrical system design and the potential for other electrical problems. For example, if there are other appliances or equipment in the building that are not properly grounded, this could contribute to the voltage on the gas pipe. It is also important to ensure that the electrical system is properly sized for the load and that there are no overloaded circuits. If there are any concerns about the overall electrical system, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. The electrician can perform a thorough inspection of the electrical system and identify any potential problems. They can also recommend solutions to improve the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Remember to prioritize safety when working with electrical equipment. Always disconnect the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electrical equipment, contact a qualified electrician. Also, consider that voltage appearing on a gas pipe can create a hazardous situation. The voltage can potentially ignite flammable materials or cause electrical shock. It is important to address the issue as soon as possible to prevent any accidents. By following these troubleshooting steps and taking the necessary precautions, you can help to ensure the safety of the electrical system and prevent any potential hazards. Remember to always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety. Remember that the presence of 127 volts from the hot wire to ground and 123 volts from the hot wire to the gas pipe is a strong indication of a grounding issue. The ideal scenario is to have close to 0 volts between the gas pipe and ground. The difference of only 4 volts between the hot to ground and hot to gas pipe measurement suggests the gas pipe is acting as a supplemental ground, which is not its intended purpose and is potentially dangerous. Always use appropriate personal protective equipment, including insulated gloves and safety glasses, when working with electrical systems. Double-check all voltage measurements with a calibrated multimeter to ensure accuracy. If you are unsure about any aspect of the troubleshooting process, do not hesitate to consult with a qualified electrician. They have the expertise and experience to diagnose and resolve complex electrical problems. Keep detailed records of all measurements and observations during the troubleshooting process. This information can be helpful for future reference and can also be useful for the electrician who will be performing the repairs. The NEC provides specific guidelines for grounding and bonding electrical systems. Familiarize yourself with these guidelines and ensure that the electrical system is in compliance. Some common grounding electrodes include metal underground water pipes, ground rods, and ground plates. Ensure that the grounding electrode is properly connected to the grounding system and that the connection is free from corrosion. In addition to the troubleshooting steps outlined above, it may also be helpful to consult with a gas utility technician. They can inspect the gas piping system for any leaks or other problems. They can also provide guidance on how to properly ground the gas piping system. Addressing the voltage on the gas pipe is not only important for safety, but also for preventing damage to electrical equipment. The voltage can cause corrosion and other problems that can shorten the lifespan of electrical equipment. Therefore, it is important to resolve the issue as soon as possible to protect your investment. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical systems. If you are not comfortable working with electrical equipment, contact a qualified electrician. They have the expertise and experience to diagnose and resolve complex electrical problems. By following these guidelines and taking the necessary precautions, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system and prevent any potential hazards.